Old It bags are back. Are they worth buying in 2025? What's up everyone? Welcome back to Luxe Verdict, the place where we cut through the hype and talk about what's really worth your money in the world of luxury. Today, I want to dig into a big question that's been buzzing in the fashion world lately. Old It bags are making a comeback, but are they actually worth buying in 2025? We're talking about the Chanel 2.55, the Dior Saddle, the Fendi Baguette, the Louis Vuitton Speedy, the Balenciaga City, all those bags that once defined entire fashion eras. Suddenly, they're back in rotation. Influencers are carrying them again, resale sites are pushing them hard, and fashion houses are even reissuing them. But here's the thing, just because a bag is trendy again doesn't automatically mean it's a smart buy. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down, the history of the It bag, why they're back in 2025, what the resale market looks like, how the quality compares today, and most importantly, whether these bags are truly worth your money right now. Let's get into it. What exactly is an It bag? Before we get into the comeback, let's define what we're talking about. The term It bag really took off in the late 90s and early 2000s. These were the bags that weren't just accessories, they were status symbols. They were everywhere, on celebrities, in magazines, and eventually on every fashion lover's wish list. Think the Fendi Baguette, made famous by Sex and the City. The Dior Saddle, reintroduced in countless colors and prints. The Balenciaga City, carried by every model off-duty in the 2000s. These weren't just bags, they were cultural icons. And here's the key, their value wasn't just in the materials or the craftsmanship. It was in the hype. The feeling that if you had this bag, you were part of something bigger. That's what made them It bags. Why the comeback in 2025? So, why are these old It bags suddenly back in style in 2025? There are a few reasons. Nostalgia cycles, fashion moves in 20-year cycles, and right now, Y2K and early 2000s vibes are huge. That naturally brings back the bags that defined that era. Resale market push, platforms like The Real, Vestiaire, and Fashionphile are pushing vintage luxury hard. They've made it easier than ever to find authentic older models, which fuels demand. Price shock for new bags, let's be real, brand new Chanel, Dior, and Louis Vuitton prices are through the roof in 2025. For a lot of buyers, hunting for an older, pre-loved model feels like a smarter way into the luxury game. Authenticity appeal, some people are tired of the ultra-polished, mass-produced feel of today's luxury. Old It bags, with their quirks and original designs, feel more authentic and less like a status flex. All of these things combine to make Old It bags feel fresh again. The resale reality. Now, here's where we've got to get real. The resale market for Old It bags is hot, but that doesn't mean it's all good news. Let's take the Chanel 2.55 as an example. Brand new, you're looking at close to $10,000 now. On the resale market, you can find older one. $6,000 range. Still expensive, but way cheaper than buying new. The Fendi Baguette? You can grab vintage version starting at $700 to $1,200, depending on the condition and material. Not cheap, but accessible compared to a brand new luxury bag. The Balenciaga City? You can find those for as low as $600 to $900 pre-owned. That's less than some people pay for entry-level luxury bags today. But here's the flip side, the condition of these bags can vary wildly. Some hold up beautifully. Others? Not so much. Leather cracks, stitching comes loose. Hardware tarnishes. And unless you're careful, you can easily end up with a bag that looks worn out faster than you expected. So yes, the resale market gives you options, but it also requires you to do your homework. Quality versus hype. This is where the conversation gets interesting. Back when these it bags first launched, they weren't just trendy, they were built to last. Older Chanel, Dior, and Fendi bags often used higher quality materials and more careful craftsmanship than what you see today. That's part of the appeal of buying vintage. You're not just buying a look, you're buying into a time when luxury was a bit less mass-produced. But here's the thing, not all it bags were created equal. Some, like the Chanel 2.55, truly stand the test of time. Others, like certain versions of the Dior Saddle, were more about the look than the build quality. And then there's the hype factor. These bags became it not just because of quality, but because they were everywhere, on celebrities, in TV shows, and in magazines. That hype is part of what you're paying for, even today. So the question becomes, are you paying for real, lasting luxury, or are you paying for nostalgia and hype? The fashion versus investment question. A lot of people like to frame luxury bags as investments. And while some pieces do appreciate in value, most it bags don't perform like a stock portfolio. Take the Dior Saddle. It had a huge comeback when Dior relaunched it a few years back. Prices shot up, resale went crazy. But now, it's leveled off. You can still resell one, but don't expect massive returns. The Fendi Baguette is similar. Prices spiked when everyone was talking about Y2K fashion, but it's not the kind of bag that holds steady long-term like a Hermes Backin. On the other hand, something like the Chanel 2.55 or Louis Vuitton Speedy tends to hold value better because they're considered timeless classics as much as they are trend pieces. So the real verdict here is this: buy it bags because you love them and want to use them, not because you think they're guaranteed moneymakers. If you want an investment bag, you're better off with Hermes, certain Chanel flaps, or a Louis Vuitton capucines. Who should buy old it bags in 2025? So, who is the right buyer for an old it bag in 2025? If you love fashion history, if you love nostalgia, or if you just want a bag that feels unique compared to everyone carrying the latest drop, then yes, old it bags are worth it. They give you personality. They give you a connection to a specific moment in fashion. And in many cases, you'll get better build quality than a new bag at half the price. But if you're someone who just wants the status of the latest trend, or if you're hoping to flip a bag for profit, you might want to think twice. Because the hype cycles move fast, and today's comeback star could be tomorrow's resale flop. The Luxe Verdict. So, here's the Luxe verdict on old it bags in 2025. Yes, they're worth buying, but only if you're buying them for the right reasons. If you love the design, if you love the nostalgia, if you want something that feels unique compared to the cookie-cutter luxury you see everywhere today, then an old it bag is a fantastic choice. But if you're buying it purely because it's trending again, or because you think it's a guaranteed investment, you might be setting yourself up for disappointment. Luxury is about more than just the logo. It's about how it makes you feel, how it fits into your life, and whether it actually delivers value to you. And in that sense, an old it bag can absolutely be worth it if it's the right bag, for the right person, at the right price. So what do you think? Are old it bags worth buying in 2025, or are they just a nostalgia trap? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear your verdict. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's debating their next luxury buy. And as always, thanks for watching Luxe Verdict, where luxury meets reality.